Just like that, Jeremy. Fashionably late. How are you, sir?
Doing well, sir.
Fan-freaking-tastic. So, after a couple of glitches, a few headaches, we're gonna we're gonna let it go. Let's just see what happens. Let's have some fun with it.
The boss ain't gonna dock us. We're less than 15 minutes late.
That's right. Hey, we get that grace period. We're gonna get a 7-minute grace period. I intentionally set the show for 8:05. The gates are closing at 8:05, so we'll let it go. It's a Saturday in the summer at the end of July. This is how things go in the summertime. Call it a warm-up for that fall crunch. I think we got some big things planned for the fall. I'm excited once people start getting settled in, get into September, kids get back to school, we get back in a normal routine. We've got Ryan from Shift RC coming. We spoke to Desmond Mooney at we spoke to Des at the Recon. That man will talk toy trucks and real trucks anytime you ask. Absolutely. So I think he was super excited to come on and tell us stories about Moab and all the cool stuff he's been doing in his big 1-to-1 garage. 1-to-1 wise, how is your Beetle coming along?
Beetle's doing good. I worked on a Beetle today. Actually got the new headlights in it, new headlight buckets. I was able to find the same headlight buckets from when it was first built, which was awesome because then I didn't have to drill new holes. Got those in, got the fuel tank in, got the steering column back in, and I got my Nerf bars mounted up. Had to order a few more parts, little knick-knack stuff. But I helped my buddy Pete put the body, the fiberglass body on his bug pan. And it looks like a GT5 type body.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. It's not a fiber fad. I think it's an Avenger or something like that. But he does a lot of those fiberglass on bug pan type builds. So we put his body on today as well. So yeah, 1-1 stuff is coming along nicely. Thank you for asking.
Well, that is fantastic. Yeah, I thought it was the perfect segue talking about Desmond and what he's been doing in his 1-to-1 stuff. Yeah, and Tyler. I mean, gee whiz, Tyler Slane and his Hummer. I mean, yeah, it's got me thinking about the 1-to-1 stuff. I know when you're out at Roush Creek and Badlands and some of these parks with the 1-to-1 stuff, these guys drool over the RC car stuff. And I know we get to geek out over their things. Yep. So that being said, sir, I think it would be appropriate if I got two things, man. It has been a great week here for us at Carryall, because I did show you a little tease when we were at Blue Rocks. I was like, the RC car action came. Yeah. And if you haven't seen it, if you haven't got your issue in the mail, I'm very pleased. I think they did a fantastic job with the review, with the layout. They hung a truck appropriately. I don't know if I can. I do like the camera on this. If I can get the lighting right, the camera's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, I can see.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing holding stuff up? I learned how to share photos. So if I can learn how to, if I can do it on this computer, I'll be all right. I'll work on that. But yeah, so big shout out to RC Car Action for an amazing review. And a great mention in their test section at the back of the magazine. So very freaking cool. Then, ironically, so the RC Car Action stuff had to be set in motion probably 3-4 months back. Ironically, out of dumb freaking luck, RC Girl drops a YouTube review, or not even a review. It was kind of interesting what she did. It was a deep dive into her bags, her adventure bags that she uses, and kind of a comparison of what was out there, highlighting pros and cons between the different backpacks. Because, listen, the elephant in the room, our backpack wasn't going to last forever. At some point, brands were going to continue to jump on, and more HRP and Traxxas and all the other people will continue to bring their offering. What Carryall can continue to do is all the R&D that you and I put into that bag, those little tweaks, proving that it is for an RC enthusiast. That's, what we highlight and put out there. So again, out of dumb luck, RC Girls video drops, and that, like clockwork, opens up the floodgates. So it has been a busy end of the week here for us. So
good. That is good news.
Especially in the summer. June and July, August is typically a very slow time of the year with everybody being away, vacations and whatnot. It is a tougher time of year for all the industry, for RC cars, and across the board, I think, just feels the pain.
Yeah.
So that is it on that end. I guess I really wanted to recap the Recon. I mean, we can't go too far without mentioning that the Recon G6 happened last week. You were there all weekend since Wednesday. I'm hoping
Wednesday night.
Wednesday night. So there were some giveaways, there were some raffles, there were some winners. I'm going to put it back into your court to point out the highlights and lowlights of the event and what you thought, and shout outs. I'm going to go ahead while you're doing that. I'm going to pull up the photos you sent me earlier of the prize winners from the raffle.
Yeah.
So Wednesday you get there, because it was all about the fix. I'm assuming that's what gets you started your first day, correct?
Yeah. Fix starts on Thursday. So I try and get there Wednesday night, at least get my wits about me and get there, talk to the people that are running. I don't run the fix anymore. I got a little bit of a ticker issue, but the people that are running, I pit for. So make sure that I have enough area set up. I have battery management protocol set up for whatever batteries they're running, any maintenance items that they may have, figure out the layouts and stuff like that. So getting that done first thing in the morning, Thursday morning, is critical because they started running at 9 a.m. And it went really well. The fix, there were some cheers and some highs and some lows, and it's it's just, it is what it is. Things get certified, things don't get certified. Problems happen. It broke my heart to see Towsley not get the FMS truck certified. But ready to run servo, they'll get you sometimes. But I was able to get him a spare servo out of my kit and get him back on the trail, so he was able to finish the fix and remain the Iron Man.
Now, Mr. King of the Sorka, splitting, finding ways to find the gray area. You are king of the rule book and finding cheat codes. Is it that simple that an RTR couldn't certify a reservo with it, and it would not certify the RTR? So every RTR
has to have factory part.
Okay. Yep. Man, that's a tough pill.
Is what it is. And stuff happens. Yeah. It just sucks, but it's part of the game. Maybe next year, maybe it'll get them to put a water, decent waterproof servo in their ready to run lineup on the 10 scale stuff. I certified their 24 scale last year, and it had no issues. Those servos are waterproof. They didn't give me any issue whatsoever. So that's part of the gig with the Fix Enduro and certifying rigs, parts, and whatever, is to build consumer confidence and to let the companies know where their weak spots are, whether they want to hear it or not. But that's how companies grow. They find out their weaknesses and build strengths. And that's, a lesson maybe for FMS to take is, hey, maybe we should put just a better steering servo in these trucks. We'll see.
Well, that is definitely a low light, because I think, like you, we would have all loved to seen Ryan end strong and with a smile. He was disappointed.
He certified a ton of rigs.
Okay, fine. I mean, yes.
He's the king of ready to run certifications, hands down.
So this is the notch in his belt, the first time that he has not certified a truck. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And some of the highs, I got to watch 4 optics, Vanquish Optic H10s run in the Fix. 3 of them in the 12-hour and 1 of them in the 3-hour, and they all did great. And 2 of them were box stock. The guys absolutely refused to upgrade anything. Now Vanquish didn't request it to be certified, but in my opinion, it's a certified rig because it lasted 12 hours box stock. So those ready runs did good. Even though, in my opinion, the differential gears, the one-piece units are glass, but hey, they lasted the Fix. So maybe my opinion was wrong, and I'm willing to say that. Jess Parr ran her optic, and it had upgrades, and she ran the DSM battery trays that we had discussed before. They are a certified product, so it made my life easy because battery changes were like that. It was so much easier than fiddling with those pins and stuff in the pits, because the trucks are all muddy and slimy, and it just not having to deal with that made life a lot easier. But yeah, they lasted, did great. No issues.
Because you're basically swapping out panel loaded battery, correct? Like that was that simple.
Okay. It was that simple. It was, just hitting it with one finger, unplugging the battery, putting the next one in, hitting the go button, and sending it. Yep, there it is.
And we got a chance to install a bunch of the stuff from DSM. And we did do a deep dive into that. We're not going to beat a dead horse with that, but as a final recap,
I can show you I put the tray, the rear tray, in mine. I embellished it with some scale hardware, which came out really good. You made me small. Yeah. And I love it. I think it looks really good. It fits with my color scheme with the red and black.
It looks great.
It looks really good. Really good. Good job.
Now, tell me about the wrap. Is that a Reef's skin on there? What is it?
Yeah, the wrap is the Reef's wrap.
So what does Reef do? Sell them in like an 8x11 sheet or something?
They're smaller than that. They're like 8x8 sheets.
Okay.
He's got 5 different kinds, and there's 4 or 5 sheets per pack. So you get 4 or 5 of these wraps to do a truck panels.
Okay.
This is a different wrap with the stripes in it, but it fits. It's made to go with that terrain map.
I love it.
They complement each other. And if you look up underneath the roof, you'll see the other wrap, which is just the Reefs logo repeating. It's also on the dash. And then he has 2 others. But, yeah.
2 other styles that he does. Styles.
Yeah, I just don't have them on that chart. But yeah. I'm digging the DSM tray for the rear. I like it. Fuel tank appropriate.
Let me see something here. Oh, that didn't work. I want to try something here.
You're sharing all the pictures.
Yeah, I'm sharing everything. Hopefully, there's nothing up there we don't want. Let me take that down. Just in
be
case.
Careful about it.
Just in case.
I keep those on my phone.
All right, so let me go back into here. And this up. There was one I wanted to touch on. What I wanted to say, Jeremy, while I'm pulling up this photo, the fact of we talked about what DSM did, but now that I had a chance to install everything, I like you had said earlier, I couldn't be happier. I think roof rack, the deck, and the battery clipless battery tray. Very pleased. Yeah. Great job, DSM. Great option.
Well done. Well done.
Well done. All right. So
Outlaw Farmer RC is asking, are you going to speak on Sorka 2025 tire definition? I am not going to speak on that. You will not find me speaking on Sorka at this moment.
Oh, don't tell me there has been a revision to the living rules for 2025.
Yeah, we're halfway through the 24 season and they're already talking 25 stuff. So I'm not. Yeah,
the living rules.
It'll change 10 times before we get there. So yeah. So you have a picture of my lovely wife up there who won a BRX 02 109 Series 3 rig in the raffle at Recon G6. So
what are the chances? I mean, gosh darn it.
She was like, hey, I'm going to run up, because I bought 20 tickets right off the bat. And I was like, I'll never win this. Safe bet. If I do, I'll do something with it. And then on Saturday morning, she was like, hey, I'm just going to go buy 10 tickets just to support the efforts of what's going on, supporting Parker and all that stuff. And she ends up winning the dang thing. So it was a big laugh. Everybody laughed. And I told everybody, she's building this truck. I'm not building this truck. I'm not building another 109. She will. So everybody kept sending her suggestions to a YouTube channel that had a great video on how to build that truck. So I'm going to set her up her own little RC lab off here to the side, and she's going to put that truck together, and we're going to do like Inception, where I'm watching her watch me build the truck that she's building, I guess. So yeah, we'll get her. She's happy girl. Yeah.
I'm assuming that's not an extra subscriber for you. I'm assuming she already subscribes to Eddie's RC.
She's not.
She's not.
No,
all right.
No, it'll be a new sub.
Check this box, dude. You are winning all day long, dude.
Yeah, she doesn't watch my channel. She's like, I listen to him all day. I'm not listening to him on my free time as well.
Oh, that's hysterical. Okay, so check that box. You get a sub out of the deal, and I think you crack the whip and you hold the line. You make her follow along step by step. And you know what helps you here, Jeremy, is being behind the scenes. And if she really goes and follows your tutorial and your reviews and listens to the tips, you're going to learn what somebody else is seeing. And it will help your video making in the future. Like, what would trip somebody up? What am I glazing over that I'm taking for granted that somebody else might need me to focus on?
You mentioned that, and it's actually tonight after this show, I'm recording my video on the Series 2, which in the instruction manual, I made a bunch of notes for first timers that might be building one of these kits for the first time. And this is the Series 2 88, but it's pretty much the same thing with the 109s. But I made some notes, and I'll go over those because I built my 88, my Series 2 chassis so far. So maybe it'll help somebody, and they'll be able to not get tripped up or something with, small areas in the book. All the instructions are there. It's just, are you actually reading them? Because it's a lot. There's a lot going on at the same time on a lot of these steps. So you got to make sure you're being thorough. So, yep. So that should be up tomorrow.
Yeah. So, Jeremy, what you're glazing over there is the fact that you just got that boom truck like a week ago, and you're that.
I got it. I got it Thursday.
Okay, even worse. I
got it Thursday.
Wow. So
in a box.
You were at the point where you're not following instructions anymore.
No, I did. I do read the instructions because this is a new manual. And
okay.
I wanted, I do follow the manual as much as I might pride myself on having built 5 of these trucks now, I still read the manual, and you should always refer to your manual, even if you think you know what you're doing, because there's extra stuff in here that wasn't in the last 88. So,
okay.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Yep.
Do you have a paint scheme or?
I do. That material will be here, I think Wednesday. I think Wednesday that material comes. So
okay.
I'm not going to say what it is.
Oh, I figured we don't.
Yeah, I like a little bit of surprise.
Yes, so, that's fair enough. All right, so just stand by here 1 second. I'm going to glide over to the next one. The next winner.
Oops. Oh, okay. Yeah, back to the Series 2. There is something in that kit. It was a nice little add-in. It was thrown inside the box, and it's sealed cellophane, so everybody should get one. But Boom Racing did a screw chart for metric, for standard, and metric that comes in the box. So when you're looking at your screw sizes, you can just lay it in there, and it's pans and round heads. And you can just lay it in there and see what the length of your screw is. So,
sick.
Very cool. I went through with a Sharpie on the metric side and just kind of hit the numbers so I can see them a little easier because I'm blind. But this was actually very helpful because there's 26 millimeter screws and 24 millimeter screws in the same step. So you should know what length you're putting in, and I like this, and it's nice and small. It's not a big thing, and it actually has a little keychain, and it snaps together, so it's one block with standard and metric on
I love it. I love it.
That goes through. Pretty cool.
I think you're getting a more accurate sizing than laying it on top of an instruction manual when you're trying to size up with the little print there. If it's
and if you're talking 2 millimeter different screws in the same step, so a 10 and a 12, you either blow out the backside or you ruin it, or it's too short. But anyway, moving on. Back to recon.
But Jeremy, where I get super duper confused is with these BRX01, BRX02, all this series numbers. Is the one that Heidi holding the same one that you're working on right now?
It is not.
So they released a newer one, and this is the one you were explaining with the lights inside the grill or inside.
This is a Series 2. So it has the headlights are inboard, not on the wings. A Series 3, the headlights are on the wings along with the turn signals.
So the box you're holding in your hand right now
Series
is the one
2.
Heidi one.
No.
They're very similar. They're very similar looking boxes.
To the layman, yes, they're very similar. This is this is Heidi's. This is a 10. This is a 109, so it's a long wheelbase, and you can see the headlights are out on the wings.
Yep.
Fenders. Not being European, I just started calling them wings. But yeah, the bodies are different. The chassis lengths are different. Yep. The 88 is the short bus, and the 109 is the long bus.
Okay.
The 109 that I have has the rack on the back, the scale garage systems. Yeah.
And I'm still jealous over MJ and the deal that he found. I mean,
yeah, that was a steal.
That's a great looking truck. Whoever built that orange one, it's sharp.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job.
So now we're still staring at Nick. Nick from NJ Scale.
Yep.
He won what? Is this the OC11 raffle?
Yes, this was the Operation 11 Charlie benefit raffle. Boom Racing sent me the BRX01 LC70 kit to raffle off, and all proceeds go to 11 Charlie. So we sold 100 tickets at $10 a pop. Do your math. So we raised a ton of money for Operation 11 Charlie, and Nick was the winner.
Bravo.
Yep, and it's his first BRX vehicle, and he's wanted one for a long time. So
yeah,
I'm very happy that he got it.
I tried for it. Dreamer and I both did. Yep. We were trying, but we can only be happy for Nick. So
yeah,
to you. Now, congrats. Very cool. All right, I got one more. We're going to pull open our library, and do you know who we're going? Oh.
Yep. So this is one of the boys from Blue Rocks.
Okay.
One of the sons actually won the Series 3 88. So same front end as Heidi's, just short wheelbase. So very cool.
Still not the one that you got recently.
No, mine just shipped out. They just started shipping them on Monday. So I got mine Thursday.
Like I said, there's a lot of series and wheelbases and
yeah, it's
gotta pay attention.
Yeah, it covers they have from Defenders, the Defenders being the newest one, all the way back to the Series 2 right now. So that's the Series 2, the Series 3, and the Defender platforms, body-wise. They're all BRX02 chassis, but they're different wheelbases. I'm not helping.
Right. It is insane. Yeah. But they're all very, very cool, and they are all ultra scale.
Yeah. And actually saw a post today. Nate from Dirt Lifestyle. I don't know if you watch that YouTube channel. I'll put a link to his channel, YouTube channel. He builds 1-1 crawlers and adventure rigs and stuff. He found and bought a freaking Series 3 88 station wagon that was found in the woods, hadn't run in 24 years. And I'm like, dude, and it's even the correct side for America. So it's an American spec station wagon, Series 2. Like, I'm like, dude, I need that truck.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be awesome to roll up and unload my Boom Racing booth at a show in an 88 station wagon. That would be clutch. I would love that. Yeah, he posted that on IG a little while ago, and that is fantastic. Hey, Radioactive. Let me see. Yeah. Mr. Tanner.
What did I do? Oh, what did I do? All right. I wanted to do that anyway. Do you see that, Jeremy?
I see your freaky skins.
Yeah, that's not mine, but it was just I was trying to, the whole idea about tonight without having a guest here was to tinker around with Instagram and see if we could finally get this thing to sync up and go live. My Instagram is showing me that you are live, but it doesn't seem to be working. It's like
let's look.
Says
on
you're
IG.
live. Says that you're live, and I go back to Instagram and it's not working. So I need to message StreamYard or try a little bit harder to figure this out. But in the meantime, one of the cool tools that we are flexing is the ability to share a screen inside the box. And this, if you have not been following along, Jeremy, if you don't want a Reefs wrap, Neil from Freaky Skins has gotten very busy recently, and he dropped like 6 or 7 new wraps. And they're all intriguing. They're all different styles. Very cool.
Yeah. I've been. I have 3 optics now.
Oh my goodness!
So yeah, there's another one sitting over here on the floor in the box. There you go. Yeah, there's a new one. Yeah, I have an addiction and it's not healthy. But yeah, I got another one and I was thinking about skins on it. Ooh. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger. So I bought a bunch of aluminum machine panels for it.
From that one high tech or H-Tech? H-Tech.
Yeah, he reached out and I got a set of blue panels on the way.
So he does them in color. Is that anodized, powder coated?
Anodized, and they are machined. Robert Pezza got a set of clear polished, and they look amazing. So I'm going to do blue. Probably going to paint the cage on that one gold. So I have a Ripper stripper. So a twin to my Ripper in the gold cage with the blue panels.
Fantastic. I think it's a super sexy option.
Yeah.
I was also eyeballing what James Knight has been doing with his 3D printed panels.
Yeah, I like them too. I don't know if I need a 4th optic, but
I would compromise. I would be willing to go 3D printed hood, the Knight's file with the hood and wrap the side, kind of a little mix. Is probably
that would be cool.
End up at, because that hood piece that he did with the engine bay and all that stuff inside there, the netting, he's really on fire. He did a mock light kit off the roll cage.
Does Freak Skins and Knight talk? Are they collaborating partners that maybe they can make a wrap for James's?
That would be ideal. Like that
pretty slick.
Seems like the iconic thing, because then ideally the reason that would work, what you're hitting on all cylinders with, is if Neil would collaborate with James, then Neil could do stickers, wraps for the interior that James is doing. So for like the monitor, the dashboard, you could get like even for the seat belts, he does all those little accent stickers. You could take the interior accent pieces to the next level, because you wouldn't have to do the hood. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fill in the gap, because Freaky Skins would not have to provide the hood wrap and then do a couple of pieces.
You still want the wrap, but you just need
I see what you're saying. The cutout just for the net.
Reshaped, because James is a different
gonna
shape.
have a shape. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to have a, his is a little more pronounced.
Well, might just be a
bulges
matter
and
of printing one for Neil and sending it to him for measurements. That's what this is going to come down to. We're going to have a little legwork.
Yeah.
But that's a great idea. I think that would be give people
I'd like to see them for the
options.
H-Tech wraps too, or for the H-Tech panels, because there's hood vents in those panels too. So it'll take a little bit different wrap. Yeah.
So
they're in the top like the Ripper.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen a Ripper hood panel?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's got the 2 vent pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do know the high-tech H-Tech stuff is very sexy, super clean, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not cheap, but it's reasonable.
Isn't it over 200?
Yeah, less than 300, and so that's reasonable. You're talking machined aluminum. You're not talking bent, Home Depot aluminum. So, and if, quite honestly, I trust Robert Pezza, and if Pezza says that they're cool, they're probably cool.
Yeah. Robert was supposed to be here tonight, but he is in the middle of a build-off right now with his fan. So,
I like that. I should have did that with the 88 and the 109 with Heidi.
You should have. You could have a little fun with that.
That would have been epic.
Yeah, it would have.
There would have been Loctite everywhere.
Well, so we got to the Recon on Saturday. My low light, if I can say anything negative about the Recon, and I don't know if there's anything to do to fix this, but one of the downsides was this. We arrived on Saturday, probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and they had They had one ticket option available for you to be able to participate on their trail. One ticket option available, and that was a 3-day pass.
Yeah.
So for the person that's coming one day, I really think a different color ribbon, a different color wristband should be an offering, and monitor it that way. If you're checking wristbands on the trail, have a different color one for the single days. That way they're still making a buck. Pay $20 for a day, not the 50 or 60 for a 3-day. What Blue Rocks ran into was a story that never happened to them ever before, and that was a guest showed up at Blue Rocks who travels around the country with his controller and his truck in hand, and he goes to campgrounds around the country.
A lot of my friends do that.
Okay. Ironically, out of the blue, unconnected to the Recon G6, he landed at Blue Rocks Family Campground at the exact same weekend that the Recon was happening. He got kicked off of the trails of the Recon. He got kicked off the trails of Blue Rocks. And what he was told by the Recon was he cannot drive anywhere on Blue Rocks Campground without this band. And he's like, BS. I am a paid camper at this campground. I am not driving on your trail. I am driving on the main pathways, finding my own places to drive, and I'm not doing anything there. So they actually had to get the owners of Blue Rocks involved to kind of split a hair. And he's like, it's actually just one weekend a month that we host this event. Of course, Blue Rocks wants to play nice on both sides. And he's like,
it's their camper.
They had a service to provide to that camper. He was using their campground. The compromise that they came up with was he went over to the raffle table. He bought a couple of raffle tickets to show some support to what the Recon was doing. But basically, he got the approval from Blue Rocks to drive their campground, but do not let them catch you on the Recon trails. Period. Honor system.
Yeah, Blue Rocks has a trail system for RC
all year long.
all year long. So it's a bit of a sticky situation.
It was.
Because you advertise that you're RC friendly campground.
Bingo.
People don't always look at the calendar when they set their vacations up. And,
right place,
coincidence or
wrong
not.
time.
Yeah. But there still should be trails for them as a camper.
And there is still
part of the campground allure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think there was plenty of places in the creek and areas that you could have gone and had fun. And he wasn't, like I said, they handled it well. They came to a proper conclusion. So my only suggestion would be come up with a single day pricing, single day ticket. For those people that just want to participate one day, that would be an option. I don't think paying $50 for one day is appropriate. Paying for a 3-day pass is appropriate for one day.
So a lot of events that I go to, if I buy a 3-day pass, I get a plaid band that has all the colors on it. And then the day passers wear the color of the day. And that's how they
single color,
solid
color.
Badlands. Yeah, Badlands does that as well. So that's a way. I mean, it's a little bit of overhead to have different color bands and keep track of those things. But I mean, if it gets $10 is $10, and if you're going to do the price for the whole weekend as a better deal, if you're going to be there for 2 days, let people work it out. Everybody has a budget, right? And everybody has a clock. So if they can only be there for a day and it's within their budget, they'll probably put down the money. It's better than not having a RCer there. I don't know. I'm not that business guy, but I see your point. Valid point.
Well, what I would say, I'll leave it at that. That would be my suggestion. What I can tell you on a side note, it was great to see Brian Parker back in full swing, motivated, energized, getting around at Blue Rocks and then moving on to the next event. So I'm hoping that this is like a sign of what's to come. I think maybe next year the vendor support will grow. They had some Oval RC and a handful of other people there. I think we'll see a couple more next year.
Yeah, that first shop that set up on Friday,
they killed it.
They were just selling stuff. Like everybody was there, and then it was empty. And then Saturday, another crew showed up, and they sold a lot of their stuff too. So I mean, there's definitely a market out there. Always an RC market. If you put something up for sale. So if you're thinking about being a vendor at that event, probably a good deal.
Absolutely.
To sell your wares.
Absolutely. I think it will definitely be worth everyone's time next year to get over there and check it out. Not to mention the walking taco and all of the other good food. The theme was ice cream. I had the badass s'mores.
So the secret to ice cream is at Blue Rocks is go late. Like wait for your snack really close to closing time, and they're getting really low on ice cream for that day, and then they end up giving you a cone that has ice cream piled on it the size of your skull, because they just wanted to empty out the barrel because there wasn't enough left to sell. It happened to Jess. I took a picture. I probably shouldn't have, caught hell for it, but there's a picture, like it was like this much ice cream on top of a cone. Damn. Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah. The whipped cream and check out this guy.
Oh, jeez.
If we didn't know, we went back in time with a that was the cool thing about the Recon G6 is that they have their themes, and the 80s theme was in full effect.
Full effect. Yeah. The only thing 80s I
Oh,
brought, the only thing 80s I did for that entire event was bring my memories, and they're, you know, I was still young enough to be able to retain those memories. So
oh, that's hilarious.
My high school years were in the 80s. So,
Jeremy, before we start rolling this in here and reeling it in, I have something you're going to appreciate. Kind of call it mail call. There's a, we'll crack it open right here. This is your high-tech, fancy little servo tester, servo center.
okay.
Center, you know what I'm.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's a little step up from the one I've been using that usually comes with all of your. Yes, pull it out of that drawer. I've had my last little servo tester got stepped on.
Oh,
and I'm like, it's that one. Yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Yeah, Mike's favorite servo tester.
Yeah, I stepped.
You can buy them by the dozen.
Well, yes, exactly. By the dozen. Yeah, you get multi-packs of them.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 4-pack of Metal Gear micro servos because we are that much closer to a automated Knight's interior. It's actually this one over here that is getting
nice.
The arms, it will move. Oh, don't look at my white gloves that I copied off of you. I've started. That white accented glove just makes them pop.
It does. It really does.
After I saw them stand out on the shifter and your steering wheel, I'm like, holy crap. I got to change the color of the paint on those wheels.
It makes them pop. Any light colored glove. You could do the welding gloves.
In a kayaky color.
Yeah, Josh Steed talked about on his live last night. There's a welding company that does welders are a particular type of persons. They're working men, and they like their fun. So they're on the glove. There's 2 dark fingers and a light finger.
Okay.
Did I do that right? 2 light fingers, 1 dark finger. So it's the shocker glove.
The shocker glove.
Yeah, for welding. So maybe you can do that on one of your gloves.
Right. Oh, that's hysterical. That's
why I clicked not for kids on my video.
Don't worry, we ain't monetized here, so it ain't mattering.
Nope.
So
none of these.
No bumpers, no guardrails here. But I just went with a simple little 4-pack, a little bundle. Just made sure that they were Metal Gear. Simple.
Why Metal
They're
Gear?
nothing fancy. They're nothing fancy, but it's all you need to turn a head and shift an arm and a wheel.
I can't do all that. It's I gotta be in a car. I can't.
So we are that much closer, my friend, to bringing some life to this thing. Finally. Oh, but the optic has been fun so far. What a great platform! Yeah, we all know how much you love it, and with the 4-wheel steer, people, if you don't realize, you have a 4-wheel steer optic.
Yep.
How cool is that?
I ran it at Blue Rocks, and it was fun. It really was. Just to be taken off and then just go to the sides. And so what I figured out is doing dig, 4-wheel steer, overdrive. That thing turns around. It never moves the back tire. It pivots on its own rear tire. When you lay the tires over, dig, and overdrive, it'll turn itself around in its own. That's sick. That is definitely sick. So one's a keeper. I like that truck.
Is that because of the dig that it's doing that? Is that
I put a
dig and overdrive.
Yeah, I put a twin transmission in it, the VFD twin, and it's it has all the buttons and all the switches, and it with 4-wheel steer, that is fantastic.
Wow.
So yeah,
And
the one on the floor is portal bound. That one's getting portals. So I got a set of
only
10
thing
portals.
left for you to do different would be portals.
Yeah. And then whichever 2 of the trucks that I love the most, the third one will get sold. Or I might raffle it for 11 Charlie.
Okay. Oh my, oh my, oh my. You are something else, sir. You are something else. Well, I've got a pile of stuff here that I've got to work out, and that is my problem. Without deciding on my wrap or color concept, I have not been able to select a wheel and ring color yet. That's a handicap right there. Yeah. And then I got a shipment of aluminum tubing to custom make exhaust. I got the old little Harbor Freight bender and been playing with the test piece right now, just trying to get a feel for it without getting kinks in it.
Yeah, you got to know your limits and do yourself a favor, do some test bends at different degrees, and then save them so you know how long your lead in is until that bend comes in.
That one that you
know what I mean? Like if you're building a real cage buggy, you need test tubes to know what the measurement is from the end of tube to the center of that bend at that degree
for it to land at the right spot.
So you know how to measure it out, and you can just do it in one piece all the way.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at right now.
Took me a while to do the exhaust on a couple of trucks because I was like, shit, made the bend in the wrong spot.
When I was doing electrical work, we were bending conduit all the time, and it's just
same concept. You got to know where to start to get your.
There's simple, there's a little math that gets involved with the back off and where to start it. I'm hoping that the majority of this.
I got the big bender.
Big bender. Is that a? Oh yeah, that. Yeah. I just had the handheld little guy, but it's working for the.
It's the same concept. This one
same concept.
Just bigger larger tube. Yeah, larger, three sizes. Yeah.
Well, I've been dabbling with light gauge aluminum. There was the reason why was I found a file for the FMS FJ40. It came with the muffler, and you just got to bend your own tubing to make it all work.
And actually, the aluminum, the solid rod, you can get it at Home Depot.
Oh,
it actually, one, it doesn't kink. Two, it doesn't have to be hollow to be exhaust on a scale truck. But you can use the solid tube for your long runs because it's a little more forgiving, and then end your runs after your muffler, like the shorter pieces, with your hollow tube for the scale look. And what that does, that lets you, in the solid tube, you can drill and tap it for your hangers or whatever else you want to make. You can use some like 1 mil or 1.5 mil hardware, scale hardware, to make exhaust hangers, and you can tap it right into that solid tube. So just a a way.
Well, I'm hoping I won't have to go that way. The hangers that it came with just kind of slip around the outside and then kind of screw right into the C channel. But on that note, though, there's something to the science of what you're talking about with a solid tube, because I remember something with like filling the inside of that with like a sand or something. Does that help? That helps prevent kinks or something, if I remember correctly.
But you have to kink the tube that you're using, or you have to heat the tube. So you're either working with hot tube and you're trying to not let it rip doing tight bends. I used to stuff the hollow tube with body posts because it's about the right diameter and it would keep from crushing it.
Okay.
But ultimately, a little bit of heat from the butane torch will serve you well. You just have to remember to wear gloves.
Because
everything gets hot.
But
Your
it will
bender,
soften it, and it will
yeah,
help make a
yeah,
smoother bed.
yep,
I'm hoping that we're not dealing with a lot of bends. I'm hoping once I get into this, it's just gonna be like one or two, and
yeah, yeah.
cool.
Hopefully, and it works out for you because it
Well,
doing my shop truck, I did dual exhaust with all the bends around the transmission and from the headers and outside dumps. And I did it in solid tube from the headers back to what I used as glass packs. And then I used hollow tube after that. And it perfect.
okay. Well, and like you said, Jeremy, if this goes well with the FMS and, with the one or two bends that I need to do, hopefully it goes
Yeah.
well and inspires me to try a little bit more custom work on something else.
Yeah.
I'll
You're
wanna
next
reach-
leveling. You're next leveling when you're making exhaust for scale trucks.
Exactly.
And I know you don't. Well, you might have Bic lighters laying around.
Yep.
So buy the slim or the mini Bics.
Okay.
If you cut the flicker top off of them,
Yep.
perfect Series 40 muffler.
Oh, snap.
Again, why I like solid tube, I can tap it, right? So I tap it 3 mil. I run a screw in from the back side after I cut the end off of it, of the lighter. I run a screw through it, and then I can thread the muffler onto the stick of aluminum exhaust pipe, and then I can make styrene cap plus my aluminum hollow tube out to exit. So those little Bic lighters are gold. I have them in my drawer for empty lighters or whatever because they're great mufflers, Series 40, and you can spray paint them silver or whatever, aluminum or whatever you want.
Fan-freaking-tastic. Well, I will definitely try that. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, did you get any mail call worthwhile?
Just the
BRX.
Oh, I did get some. And I'm using this on my new Series 2 BRX body. This is cool. Never got to unbox anything in here. So there's a company out there called Starbond. Have you heard of them? Starbond.
No.
So Starbond they make glues and adhesives. So they're an adhesives company. So this is their 5-minute epoxy, a 2-part AB.
Yep.
There's a thick, it even says thick with thick letters for it is CA glue. They sent me a bunch. This is the thin and a medium. So different consistencies for different things. But what's really cool is they sent me a big bottle of remover.
Okay.
Because you don't want to glue yourself to yourself.
Yep.
You end up in emergency rooms that way. And accelerator. So
like a Zap Gap.
So if you've ever used an accelerator before, forget what you know about accelerators. This is on a brush. This is not
still for like a CA glue that you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Instabond, right? You put glue on one side of the surface and you wipe this on with a little brush on the other side. You put them together and they're there forever. It's an instant bond. So this stuff,
long gone are the days of the spraying and you brush it on.
Yeah. So if you've ever done, we've all done this, right? Scale details after the fact. So you want to put something in a truck or something falls off and you gotta glue it in there. and you hit that interior with spray accelerator, and it goes freaking everywhere. And depending on what paint you used, so does the paint. It'll smear it, it'll smudge it, especially with weathering effects. With oils, it'll make oils drip.
Plus, if the glue is runny, any extra glue will start running and hardening in places that you don't want it.
Yeah. So having an accelerator that's on a brush is a big benefit. It's much more precise. It's a lot less waste. So when I build my Series 2 body, which requires gluing, it's a plastic truck. It needs glued in certain areas. So I'm going to use the Starbond stuff because they were nice enough to send it to me. So I'm going to use it.
Starbond. Okay.
Starbond. Yep.
I will check it out. Do they have an Instagram or
yeah, they're on Instagram. I'll put a link. I'll be doing a video when I do the S2 body, the Series 2 body with product. So there will be links in my channel there. But yeah, hit up Starbond. If you haven't, 5-minute epoxy. What this is really good for is when you glue bodies together, right? You can't print this all in one shot. So when you glue these together, back your seams with a 5-minute epoxy, and it really helps out. It strengthens, secures. If you're gluing PLA to PLA, it's sketchy at best. If you're doing ABS and you're not able to use MEK as your bonding agent, use the 5-minute epoxy and a couple sticks, get everything lined up, get it clamped so you got time to move it around, and then hit it with your with like a medium or a thin, and let it cure. The 5-minute epoxy gives you enough time to kind of position things before it really sets hard. So
this one says 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I've been using a 15-minute Gorilla Glue, 2-part epoxy. Stinks to high heaven, but it does take a while to hold.
Okay.
So
5 minute.
Yeah. So you have a 5 to 7 minute working time, 10 to 12 minute fixture time, and a 30 to 60 minute functional time. So that's when it cures hard.
Okay.
So when they say 5-minute epoxy, that's your working time.
Fair enough.
That's the time it takes to get it in there. Yep. So that was my mail call, besides my VRX-2 Series 2.
Well, that's big enough. So, listen, it's better than nothing. I did promise you that I would share the screen. I found one photo that I did have.
There you go.
Lined up. So, this is what they did do. This is the long version of it. So, better than me trying to hold the magazine up at the screen. So, there it is. Thank you to RC Car Action for a great little recap there on the X2 Delta Series bag. Very cool.
Next week we'll teach you cropping. Oh,
yes. Well, it's
back to BRX.
I am working on a computer that I never use, this MacBook thing. So we're just lucky it works so far as much as it did tonight. We'll take the wins where we get them.
We'll take them where we go. So the Series 2 88 came with a new decal sheet.
Okay. I love stickers.
I like a good decal sheet.
Yeah.
This is pure gold on here, by the way. Look pretty, play dirty. Landy girls like it dirty. And there's someone here that you may recognize that very few companies actually celebrate the Recon G6 on their decal sheets anymore.
Correct.
So,
but Jason and Brian
very
have
cool.
a long history together,
Yeah.
very loyal supporters, and
Yeah,
that's
and
awesome.
on the box,
I saw it. I saw that.
It's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, it's way cool. Way cool stuff. I love a good decal sheet. There's gold on this decal sheet. If you can order the decal sheets, by the way.
Okay.
And there's some Land Rovers don't leak oil. They just mark their spot. Yeah. If it ain't leaking, it's empty. Yeah.
I love it. Oh, Crawler Tracks is here. So,
hey, Crawler Tracks.
Jeremy, he's been busy. He's got a bunch of new stuff ready to come out. We saw some of the cool things that he was doing before, his original micro crawler track designs that he came up with, some of the, the bridge that he made and the mud pit. But he's about ready to drop I don't know if I'm not going to say them, but a few new additions to the crawler track lineup. So maybe we'll have him back on here.
I feel like that's what I need above my.
You need a micro track, like
I need a micro track on my wall right there,
going around the room like a train.
Just like around this corner would be phenomenal. Make it come around the corner, come down across my desk, go back up to the other wall, back over the cabinet. I know. I'm thinking high hopes, right? But it would be cool.
Would work.
A little crawler track right up here.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool. I could climb from the bench up, do winch pulls.
I think it's a great idea. Well, while you're at it, you might as well just put a drift car track in there. Why stop there?
I do that in the garage. Yeah, the garage is polished concrete. It's great for drifting.
You should, turn into a little Disney.
That new Mustang. Look, Traxxas, if you're out there and you're listening right now, send me a Mustang because I want to hit people.
Because you want to hit people?
Yeah, I want to just drive into people with a Mustang. I feel like it's a necessity in life to own a Mustang and do a crazy burnout and hit people, because that's all I see on TV with Mustangs.
They're notorious. People that drive Mustangs do not know how to drive, and whenever they do their burnouts, they always whip out into a curb or something. It's
into a crowd of people or something.
True. It is.
But that Mustang is pretty slick. That's a good looking car.
It's so true.
I'm not much of a Traxxas fan, but that thing's pretty trick. And I hate to say it, but they kind of squashed AEs. Like the AE are just kind of.
Can you tell us what the hell is going on with AE? Is there a kid-friendly public version of what the hell is going on?
I don't know. Like there's some craziness going on out there. Like there's a
did they discontinue something?
Yeah, they discontinued popular parts off of a popular platform that was still being raced. And if people don't realize, like, old race cars don't die, they just go to a different series. Like Legends or in the full size world, they just go to a different series as they age. And locals around here race not vintage, but like previous model cars. Like you can't have a current model in that class. It's got to be at least 2 generations old to race it. And they stopped making parts to support their platform for some of those cars, and it really ticked some people off. People are, they weren't real happy about that. And then they another re-release of the old D platform, and it's like, it's like, what are you doing? You didn't support that car for 20 years, and then you're going to release it. like you told us that didn't work anymore, and you came out with something new, and then you release it, but you don't support your current parts. So I'm a little confused, and it makes me worry. Will that carry over to Element? Are they came out with a slurry of different platforms using different transmissions and different setups, and are they going to kill the least performing one off? And then you're just stuck with something that doesn't have support. The aftermarket didn't really embrace the SE transmission. Is that viable? The SE transmission that I have in 2 trucks, am I going to be able to get parts for it next year, the year after that? So I don't know.
Well, I'm hoping that is not the case.
Meanwhile, my Axial 10-1 from 2005, I can still buy ring and pinion gears and diff gears for it.
Right. I'm hoping that what's happening in Team Associated does not drift over to.
I hope they just figure it out and listen to their customer base.
Well, I know they've been getting blowback and they've been taking punches. That's for darn sure.
We're unpopular. Drop another re-release. And I'm not saying that I don't like the re-releases. I mean, I have them. They're right there on the top of the shelf. They're up there.
They're those conversation starters. Those are the fun ones.
I mean, I got a gold pan and a clear. I mean, awesome. I like those cars. I grew up with them. It's nostalgia for me. It's not about building them. Nick, RC Jesus would probably slap me for that statement.
Right.
I do not intend to build or run either one of those cars. I just like the boxes sitting there in their cellophane. I'm cool. I'm good.
Oh man. All right, Jeremy, we're gonna wrap it up here. Fun side note: Did you remember what happened the night that I forget where we were, the night of the tragic?
Is it when we went to the Roxbury?
That not that night. The Chippendale night when we were. 2 things. I forgot to say something to our friends out there in California, because as we were scheduled to have a guest from California tonight, but he is sadly helping his mom and dad relocate all of their belongings from their home because of those fires. So he could not be with us tonight. We will reschedule him for next week. But that just reminded me, holy smokes, that's a shame. Real people are being affected by this.
Yeah.
I would make the joke. I used to message Paul from Proline every time I'd hear about a California wildfire. But Paul, I hope you're okay. And he would laugh. He's like, bro, that's 14 hours away from me.
Yeah. That's 10 hours away.
Do you understand?
I have to drive for 2 days to get to that spot.
Right. Oh, I hear California and freak out. Like,
yeah.
But real people are being affected by it. So, our thoughts are with all of you. Be safe. All of the rest of that stuff is just material items. Get out, get safe. That is the most important thing. Yeah. But funny little side note, Jeremy, right after our ex-president, our president nominee Trump was the attempt on his life, you sent us a screenshot, and what did I circle, Jeremy? A little thing in the background of a UFO. It just was like UFO with a question mark. Have you seen the UFO topics and information has popped up recently? There are three UFO videos floating around right now that happened during that Trump rally, and they have slowed the video down, and there are unidentified flying objects behind him. I actually caught it, dude. I was like, nobody's gonna believe me, but I did circle it that night. Like, I'm not saying what I circled and sent to you was it, but I'm telling you, I smelled it.
So unidentified flying object to you may have been a identified flying object to someone else.
No, correct.
So when your Secret Service may or may not have drones of different sizes and shapes to conduct their business.
Correct.
Not
1000% correct.
Probably not recording on the American people, which would probably be against our civil rights. But they can view what's in plain sight live and make judgment calls, but definitely not recording the American public. Yeah.
Now, all the reports that I did hear was that their drone was not up in the air at that time. Just FYI, that's what they're saying. Sure, it wasn't. Right. Because I was talking to an engineer yesterday who was doing, when he worked at his last job, and they would do projects for fraud for insurance companies. So if a hailstorm came through an area and a person wants to claim hail damage and say that my roof got blown apart, do you know you probably know this, there is a website that these companies can pay to be a part of a service. And what it will do is give them the day before a date. So if they say that the storm flew in on July 12th, with this service, you can go back to July 11th, and there is satellite footage of that house the day of every day of your life. There is something flying over your house taking updated photos, and it's more accurate than like Google. This puts Google Maps to shame. This is real time. So what they're looking for is, well, why was it the day before this hurricane came in, you already had a big ass blue tarp on your roof? Like you were experiencing roof damage before the storm even came, like that kind of thing. So if a insurance company has access to that kind of stuff, think about what your Secret Service and government has access to.
Yeah. And it's a wild, wild world out there. There's a lot going on. If you stop and look around, you might just see it. And if you just want to live in eternal bliss, just keep your eyes flat and straight. Don't look to the sides. Don't look up. Don't look down. And if you do look up to enjoy the sunrise, wave because somebody's watching.
Somebody's watching. I'm just going to keep my head in the sand and bury it.
Just keep your eyes flat.
Oh my goodness. It is a crazy world we live in, sir.
It is. It certainly is. And we play with toy truck in our spare time. So
that's all we can do.
All that bad.
Bro, keep it simple. Keep it simple. I continue to meet good people every day of my life in this hobby. We continue to reach out to people and talk to people on a daily. New people continue to keep coming to this hobby on a regular. It's growing. There is excitement. It is so good to see, and just find people that are doing it for the passion and enjoyment of having a good time. That's simple. Jeremy, anything else on deck for you the remainder of this year?
The year, holy crap! I don't even know what I'm doing.
Well, let's go to September. Is there anything happening at the golf course, at the miniature golf course this year? Do you know? Have you heard anything?
Miniature golf course in Jersey?
Yes, the little fairway crawl thing. Is that happening this year?
I haven't heard.
I haven't heard either. I should ask Des the other day.
Yeah, I do know. I got a couple trips in. I got one in September and one in October. So I'm definitely going to the haul and crawl with the Georgia Rocks.
Yep.
So I'll definitely be down there with Boom Racing and doing that gig. And September may have an unexpected journey for me. I'm still trying to work out plans on that, so I don't want to ruin it.
Would that be by the fire in September? Or?
It could, or it might not. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to work out details.
Okay.
And I know there's another one. What is the other one?
Are you getting RCEC things or?
No, it's the same. Yeah, I can't do ledge stock this year. I got to do
Okay.
ledge stock next year. I got to. I just have to. Sorry, Trevor.
Well,
it's just not in the cards this year. But
and that's really going to be his. That's going to be his flagship, I think, next year. It's a lot less attention on some of the smaller events, and all the eggs will go into the ledge stock basket.
Yeah, I think there's definitely, ledge stock
will happen.
Is deserving of a larger gathering.
Yes. So, it does deserve the gathering. Absolutely.
Yeah. I can't remember what the other event was, but I have another event, and I can't remember.
2 years ago, Rebel went and supported the event as a vendor. Jeff Johns went and came back from that event screaming the same thing you did from the rooftop. This event deserves way more attention and gathering. He was literally jaw dropped, like, phenomenal work, Trevor. Great job. Everybody must attend this event once in their life.
Yep.
All right, sir. Let's fade out. Thank you again. I got some homework to do this week on this computer. I'm going to take that thing to the shop and get a little TLC on it. I screwed it all up. We'll get that fixed. And well, hopefully by next week, you'll get a update on your boom truck, and maybe your wrap stuff will be here. We can talk about that. We'll have our new guests lined up.
Hopefully next week I'll have a finished truck.
Like body and everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll build that body in the evenings and get it ready for its coach. Whoa. Oh my God, we fell. It kind of made me sick.
We just fell. Whoa. I'm still standing. It was not me who fell. I am okay, people.
Yeah, I will. That was the bonus for everybody for sticking around to the end.
Stay to the end.
Watch Mike fall. Hopefully it'll be done, and the finished product will look what's in my head. So awesome.
Fingers crossed. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, then my job next week is to have an automated, fully functional head, passenger, driver, the whole nine, all 4 servos I'm going to have working in that optic.
Nice. And I'll keep agitating you until you finish it.
Do that, and I will keep agitating Neil until he makes connection with James Knight. We'll get a print done up for him and sent over, so maybe we can get this wrap idea done. I think it's a genius idea.
Just put a bow on it because it's wrapped up.
Wrap it. I did. Put a bow on it.
Shameless.
Wrap it like a present. All right, sir. Let's fade out. All right, people. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you, everybody that's going to watch during the week. You saw all the stuff here. Let's give you a closing video. I feel weird not doing this and that this week. I always like doing that.
It's okay.
Next week.
You'll be okay.
We'll be okay. Well, we'll survive. All right, let's get us out of here. I'm going to end with, since we didn't do our intro, I'm ending with our intro.
And it's just me until Mike gets around to the intro. I wonder how long Mike's going to let me sit on here live. What else can I show you? I don't know. I have anything. Mike, there's no outro. Mike, this is awkward. It's really awkward. Is anybody still watching? I don't think anybody's watching. It got awkward. Like I started having a conversation with myself.
I'm going to have to go back and watch this whole thing to see all the.
It's going to be pretty good.
No. Yeah. All right, let's try that one more time.
Here we go again.
Like here we go one more time. We're not even going to give you a chance for any words of wisdom.